Hello everyone. Welcome to a spiritually guided message. I've been meditating on um some thoughts, and I've basically come to understand something that's very important, and I'm going to try to communicate this in the best way possible. So the word that came to mind is mantle. When we think about a mantle casually, Um, a mantle is, a sort of structure, often in your home, um, but it's an architectural structure where you can place items for display. Does that make sense? So, um, it's almost like for decor, right? But it's also a place of heightened attention, is where you want to highlight something. It could be a family picture, it could be a trophy, um, it could be Christmas decorations. But at the end of the day, a mantle highlights. It's something that you place additional attention on, okay? So hold on to that thought. When I looked up the word mantle, the biggest thing was the fact that that is also what we call one of the layers of the earth. So the earth is made of a couple of layers. The inner core, which has the core, which is very deep in the earth. It has the inner core and it has the outer core. Then you have the mantle. All of these have like subdivisions, right? But then you have the mantle. And then you have the crust. The crust is the surface. It's what we see. It's, where the grass is, the trees, soil, right? But below that, there is a thick layer, which is where a lot of the magic happens, let's say, for now. So yeah, I'm going to read you the exact definition that I found online. It was, the mantle is a thick, solid, rocky layer between crust and the outer core. And what the hell did I write? Drives plate tectonics, okay? My handwriting is crazy. But also, something that I thought was interesting is that it's made of, there's a lot of peridot in the mantle. So if you have been called to get any sort of like rocks or crystals, maybe peridot is something you would look into. I think I'm going to look into it and see if I should get some myself. But yeah, let's keep going back to the message. So it drives plate tectonics, okay? From what I've been taught in school, when I think about plate tectonics, I'm thinking earthquakes, I'm thinking destruction. That's kind of what they teach you, is how, the movement of these tectonic plates can cause kind of natural disasters, right? Which, if you reflect that to the internal world, we can call that maybe a tower moment, right? But what we don't get taught as much is that this tectonic movement is absolutely necessary for the formation of our Earth's geography, right? Like mountains, valleys, volcanoes, all of these things that make the Earth exactly the way it is. The things that determine the Earth's identity, right? Or the Earth's appearance, how the Earth is expressed, right? That is largely determined by tectonics, which are largely determined by the mantle. All right. So the mantle is very, very hot, but it is not a fully liquid layer because there's so much pressure inside of it that it kind of has a very slow movement. It's not like water per se, right? It's a thick, dense layer, and it has very slow movement. And one of the primary aspects of the mantle is something called convection. Convection is the movement of a fluid following a heat gradient. Okay, so when you boil water, the current that is formed due to boiling, when the water goes from cold to hot, hot to cold, cold to hot, hot to cold, that is called convection. Okay, so in the same way, the mantle provides movement. That's also what leads to the movement of the tectonic plates, in order to provide the crust with morphology, and in order to provide, so that outer surface with morphology, identity, and also to provide essential, let's say essentials. I was gonna say nutrients, but it's a little bit more nuanced than that, because one of the major utilities of convection is the fact that you have heat from the inner core that now makes it to the surface, and that enables us to, not have a freezing planet and actually sustain life. Does that make sense? Okay, so movement of fluid by heat gradient. This reminds me of, no. Let's go into this, okay? Convection is the movement that occurs due to flow from one temperature to the next, and enables the flow and the movement, and it helps reach equilibrium. So it's enabling the even spread of whatever resources are in the core, right? And it basically allows us, or allows the earth to reach a level of equilibrium, right? So it's a way to distribute resources, recycle materials. So there's carbon that gets deposited in certain ways, a bunch of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, that is the point. Convection enables morphology, it enables heat transfer, and it enables movement. Something to keep in mind is that mountains, valleys, everything that comes from the movement caused by the mantle becomes their own ecosystems. So, okay. With that framework in mind, what this took me to was, number one, when we think about our internal world, what is the core? The core is the soul. The core is basically your energetic essence, right? What connects to the higher universe, what determines your connection to higher source, right? So at your inner core, you are source. You are connected to source, right? The mantle, or what you highlight, what you place attention, what you place intention into, what you have conviction for, not convection, but conviction for, those things are what are going to enable you to create movement. Wow, I literally feel emotional right now. 9/11 on the clock. Create movement from inner source and bring that up to the surface to express it into how you are now going to live. Okay? So it is what enables you, the intention, what you highlight, what you parade almost internally, right? This is all in internal terms. What you place your intention on. That is what's going to enable the transfer of energy from higher source to who you are meant to show up as in the world, what you're meant to show up as in your top layer. Okay. So yeah, that was just something that I felt I needed to kind of, it was amazing the way that, I don't know, the way that download came through. But yeah, I think we're all called to really be intentional about what is on your mantle. What are you setting on your mantle? And how, what are you setting on your mantle? What are you focusing your energy on? What are you highlighting? And that is going to determine what you're going to be able to extract from inner source and be able to bring into your reality, be able to manifest into your reality. I just got a warning. I would say that's a confirmation, but let's say that it's a coincidence. So yeah, that is just a call to ask you, what do you have on your mantle right now? I hope this was useful, and I'll catch you on the next one.